Looking here at the Salesforce weekly chart, we can see that it's essentially been an incredibly volatile ride since 2020 has essentially begun. At the very beginning, we rode up to the top just like everyone else, took the elevator down, saw a huge elevator all the way to the top, and then we saw some sideways action, saw another peak, and it's essentially been down now since the middle of November of 2021. Potentially, we've hit a bottom here in December of 2022. Let's look on the daily. Very similar to exactly how Tesla is. Looks like the 200 level is going to be a very important level for Salesforce to pay attention to. It may get rejected and fall back down, potentially bringing the lows back into play. Let's go ahead and look at the daily sentiment indicator. One of the things that's most concerning about Salesforce is that it's already hit very close to 60% bullishness. You can see that the bullishness is starting to recede. We're already down at 55%. It'll potentially breach below this moving average and then probably give us some look like we saw here when we saw a big sell-off before. That's just opinion, potentially could be wrong. But confirming this would be when we look here at the weekly got all the way up to 60%. And very commonly, we've seen that in the past where it got up to 60%, it promptly will fall. Got up to over 60%, promptly will fall. Based on where we are right now and what the data is showing us from how CRM prefers to act when it gets to these over extreme levels of bullishness, it'll fall. We can see the volume, it's essentially been flat, hasn't really moved. We can see maybe it's gone up a little bit in the past few months since 2022, but nothing has changed significantly. We see a few really large days on the daily, but nothing to take note unless it is specifically catalyst driven news or affects the stock in a non trend way. We can see based on the volatility here, volatility continues to rise while the correlation rises. That just shows Salesforce and volatility are going to go up together. That does mean that you're going to get some really aggressive up moves. When volatility rises, when price is moving up, generally that means you're going to be getting gaps, you're going to be getting really long candles, you're going to be getting overextension moves, intraday moves, whatever it is, can be quite hard to hold on to. Now looking here at the weekly volatility, we can see the blue here, which is volatility, is rising. It looks like correlation potentially has bottomed and it's going to start rising as well. That's actually really powerful for Salesforce, for CRM. If you're thinking about it for the long term, that would be a good signal. We look at the sentiment indicators here in terms of the trade range. We can see that Salesforce is essentially broken to the very top of its range, which it hasn't done since the middle of 2021. That could be very positive. I would expect to at least get some mean reversion. So off of this level, when it can only peak at 203 and it's already in the mid 190s, you could definitely see it get much closer to that 100. We'll see what happens. Now looking at it on the daily, we can see Salesforce has essentially been hitting its highs of its range and just staying there since the beginning of 2023. It really hasn't even fully hit the bottom of its range even once yet in 2023 when it ended 2022 hitting the bottom of its range and essentially living on it for a little bit in the summer of 2022. So this is generally pretty positive for the long-term trend, but we can see it fall all the way back down to, mid 170s, mid 160s. There's potential for Salesforce to definitely sell off here. Could be an opportunity for people to add into the dip, but I would be looking to make sure that the sentiment gets at least probably down to the mid 40s, but at least below 50% before I'd want to take a shot long here. So I need to see some aggressive selling to really feel comfortable positioning to go long. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like it, if you don't, leave me a note. Let me know. Have a great day.